I love the Old Testament. I love the Old Testament. The far I've read in the Bible, I find the Old Testament to be my favorite because of it's full of everything that you need for entertainment. It has drama, it has horror, it has history, it has everything that you can ask for. You'll find it in the Old Testament. And for this episode, I want to talk about Samson. I find him to be just amazing, just amazing with the things that he did, with the things that he was able to accomplish. Being a Nazarite for God, being one of the judges that was raised rather by God to be a savior for the children of Israel, because by this time they had been captured by the Philistines and they were in bondage by the Philistines. And what he was able to accomplish to bring it to pass up until his death was just wow. I wish it to be made into a movie. I don't know if there's such a movie. Uh yeah, I wish I would thoroughly enjoy such. So every time I read Judges 13, the one especially about Samson, I get chills. I get chills because it's what an amazing movie is made of. It has everything. It has sauce, it has juice, it has whatever it is that you need, action. It's got it. Sadly the hero dies at the end, but he does what he was supposed to do. He accomplishes the mission, and that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Hands down my favorite. So Samson, his father's name is Manoah, and we start off with the story that his mother is barren and couldn't have any children. And one day the angel of the Lord appeared to Samson's mother before he was born, that is. And he promises her that she will have a child. And when she conceives this child, she should be careful not to drink wine or any strong drink or eat anything that is unclean. For she will conceive and bear a son, and that no razor should ever come to the head of this boy. And this boy is going to be a Nazarite to God. And he was going to save the Israelites who were, at this time, were in the hands of the Philistines. You see, the Israelites had a thing whereby the judges had to be created, God had to come up with the judges because the Israelites wanted a judge. So somebody to rule over them. And God gave them judges. And the reason that there are so many, hence the book name Judges instead of Judge, is that the Israelites had, for example, they had one judge. Or rather, let me say they were like in captive. And they would cry to God, and God would come through for them and he would send a judge to come and rescue them. And for as long as this judge was alive, the Israelites obeyed God, they did everything that God wanted. But as soon as this judge died, the children of Israel went back to doing evil in the sight of God. But thank God for his merciness, for his merciful ways, for his mercies, because he heard his cries and he always send somebody to come and save them and rescue them. So in this part, in Judges 13, enter Samson, or rather he's about to be born, or the angel has come to deliver the message that they're going to have a son. So when Samson is born, and he grows older and he reaches an age whereby he wants to be married. One day he goes down to Timnah and he saw one of the daughters of the Philistines. So this is how God starts. I love when they say that God was seeking a confrontation with the Philistines because of what they had done to the children of Israel. So Samson went down to Timnah, and when he went there, he saw one of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and mother, like, Dad, I've seen this girl, and I think I like her, I want to marry her. Lord, behold, this is one of the ways that he was using it to have a confrontation with the Philistines, sorry. So he's like, Dad, get her for me as my wife. But the mother and father did not agree to that, but they didn't understand why he wanted to take a wife from the tribe, from the Philistines. They were uncircumcised, but Samson insisted. So they take a wife for him, and he marries. I need you to understand something about Samson. He was fierce. He was fierce. James Bond has nothing on him. I call him the assassin of God because I don't think in the judges there's anyone who was like him, quite like him. All of them are different, of course, in their different ways, but there's no one that was like him. He is one of my favorite judges. He's one of my favorite judges. And he's the kind of guy who would tear up a lion with his bare hands, you know? So fast forward, Samson gets married, and not really married, but he's about to. What caused the problem during the feast of Samson's marriage to this Philistine woman is that he gave the people, the Philistines, the companions that were brought to him, a riddle. And long story short, they couldn't solve it. So these guys couldn't be able to solve the riddle. So they pressed Samson's wife to tell them, rather, what the riddle was about. And she went back and pressed Samson, and Samson was able to tell her. So on the last day of the feast, the men came to Samson and told him that they had solved the riddle. But Samson knew it because the wife had told him. But this is what he does. And it says, and the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon and struck down 30 men. Now, why did he have to do that? Of the town, and took their spoils and gave the garments to those who had told the riddle in hot anger. He went back to his father's house, and Samson's wife was given to his companion. You see, she had to be given to his companions because they were angry now. They were angry. Ugh, this is just some drama. So fast forward, we get to a point whereby I think the Philistines are tired by now, and that Samson is strong. He's a one-man army. And they need to find a way to subdue him. So what do? They get a woman. So enters Delilah. So the plan is for Delilah to seduce Samson so that Samson can tell her his secret of his strength, so that the people of Philistine can use it against him. So Delilah tries and tries and tries all he could, but Samson doesn't spill the secret until, but she continues to press him until Samson is just fed up and is like, ah, whatever, then I'm gonna tell you. And as soon as he tells her the secret, oh my God, the men were waiting outside to subdue Samson. They came, they tied him up, they cut his hair. And as soon as they cut his hair, of course, the strength has gone and he cannot take out like 30 men like the way he used to do before. Take out like a village like the way he used to do before. So he's imprisoned. He is imprisoned. He is imprisoned, and these people were so happy because Samson had done a lot of damage to their people, and they just wanted him caught. They just wanted him, yeah, just gone. So in this day, they're having this to offer sacrifice to their gods and to rejoice, to give thanks. And they request like, we want Samson to come and entertain us. I wish they didn't do that. I don't know why they thought this time that he was in prison, his hair wouldn't grow out. So yeah, Samson comes out to entertain them. And that is how Samson brought one man, the whole arena, down. Everybody. He killed more men and women dead than he ever did when he was alive. Now, how awesome is that for a movie?